Hey, look, it's the generic noob streamer open. Wow.
Yeah.
They talk about going backwards in production value, but when you're doing like a pop up stream like this is, you use what's on hand.
Mm.
So there you go. I have the noob streamer open. So we're here discussing the Royal Rumble. We all watched it. Um, there were there were moments that were decent, but overall, like to me, this was kind of a meh Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I, I've seen better cards on indie shows. No,
Yeah.
it was just for the parts of the show that I saw, it was disappointing given the level of talent available still even after all the releases. And I don't really follow the current WWE product, but I see when all these guys and gals get released,
Mm.
and it's just man, that you
And
now
the women's
let
Rumble clearly like showed that the releases like hurt them because they basically nixed basically most of their women's division, and they had to bring
yeah.
back people that they already let go to just compete in the Rumble, which is like
Yep.
if I was any of these talent, I'd be like, screw you, I'm not coming back. Like
Mm-hmm.
fuck your Rumble, like you know.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, what was funny about it was, starting off, I think from the first match, like the Rollins Reigns match. Being a fan of when the Shield was together, I
mhm.
wanted. I did kind of like the beginning part of it. I love how Seth came down taunting him with the Shield entrance.
Mhm. It
Mm-hmm.
That
started out
was
all right.
that was fucking great. The psychology of the match was fucking great because Rollins was all in his fucking head.
Mm-hmm.
But then, the kind of cheap way that they had Roman snap and, the chair shot DQ.
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't because of the chair shot. It was because of him not letting go of the
Yeah,
submission while he held
him
onto the
not,
ropes.
yeah, but just the chair shot stuff and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand why they sold it that he snapped and whatnot, but I don't know. I feel like they're cutting that feud short. Like that should be a marquee feud. If
What
you're
I
going,
would
yeah,
have liked to have seen, and this is in a perfect world, is if Dean Ambrose wasn't in AEW or AEW wasn't a thing or whatever, have Dean come in and then finally give him the push that he wanted and deserves over those two.
well, yeah, absolutely. But the problem is, and we were talking about it behind the scenes. All right,
Mm-hmm.
this was all because of rushed and botched booking.
Mm-hmm.
Because you remember I said to you, dude,
Yeah.
the thing was like back when Brock came back, they wanted to have they wanted to have him face Reigns for the Universal title. Reigns got COVID. They couldn't do that. They hurried up, put the WWE Championship on Brock because they're like, oh shit, we can't have Brock not be champion of something. We got to
Mm-hmm.
make him look strong. So they hurry up and put the basically the Raw belt on him, and they're like, and nobody at the time really understood what the fuck that was because that was only like,
Mm-hmm.
about 4 weeks ago. And so now, you know, well, Reigns is back from COVID, but you got this thing now where it's like, all right, well, we're come hell or come high water, we want to have Lesnar Reigns. So now you fuck up the whole Rollins and Reigns feud because you're rushing to set up that whole WrestleMania main event which we'll get into the other side of it, what they did with Brock later for the men's Rumble. But it just, it takes away from that. And that's why I felt like this match didn't get a fair shake because both guys can go. And that should be a no-brainer kick-ass storyline to have an extended feud between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what did you think of that match, Ito?
The Rollins and Reigns match?
Yeah.
I didn't get to see that one, man. I kind of came in late because I was away from the kid all day, and he wanted to do some family, so we was watching a movie, and I put the pay-per-view on my phone, and I picked up it early on in the women's Rumble match, so I didn't see what happened before that. So I having seen Rollins and Reigns, through the Shield and post Bret, like during the Authority era, and Roman Reigns, man. Vinny tried to force the Rock on the fans with that smiling ass Rocky Maivia gimmick, the babyface gimmick that fell flat. Like, he's been trying to force Roman on.
Roman's actually done good with the heel work.
Yeah.
By just embracing, the family elitist gimmick.
Yeah.
That's actually worked pretty well for him. He's been a pretty decent heel, but the problem is, again, you got a chance, and I get it because they had Rollins now, who's kind of a tweener, but more of a heel, and it's a heel feud, but it's still a good fucking feud because there's history between those guys, and you have them doing heel shit back and forth. People were liking it. And now you're going to sell that feud short simply because you want to force this WrestleMania main event.
The same repetitive Seth Rollins versus fucking Lesnar that we've had.
Lesnar Reigns.
That's what I meant. Yeah. Lesnar Reigns for how many events?
And fuck, man. Nobody needs to see. We don't need to see. That Reigns, when they put when they put Seth Rollins over on Lesnar a couple of years ago at WrestleMania, and he went over with the curb stomp, I said, Brock's getting ready to leave the company again.
And then he leaves the company.
And then he left company. I'm like, because look, there's no way any booker with any common sense puts Rollins over on Lesnar clean like that, ever. Ever. I'm looking at you, Kevin Nash. Ever.
Yeah.
But no. So I Rollins in that. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't see the match, but I mean, I can imagine
the psychology is gold, though, for the storytelling.
They know each other inside and out. So yeah, they are good storytellers. Seth Rollins is such a douchebag. I have trouble looking past that because I've met him, when he was working in Ring of Honor. And
when he was Tyler Black.
And he was working with Jimmy Jacobs, and they were Age of the Fall.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, I mean, that it's just like they're rushing, they're taking away, and WWE does this shit all the time because they're trying to force a WrestleMania main event or something like that. So they screw up good potential rivalries or storylines that are happening, like right there in the moment. That the fans are actually into, because they're like, oh, come hell or come high water, we got to have this as our WrestleMania main event. And it's like, they've done that to people.
And they keep rehashing the same. Like, if I want to see, if I want to see Roman whatever, I'll just go back to one of the other WrestleManias. We've already seen that shit. Like, why do I need to see it for I don't know how many WrestleManias that we've seen it so far, or other pay-per-views that we've seen it before? It's like, it's just getting old. real quick.
And that's the thing is like if you have people that your audience wants to see work, you know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you can, and that's the beauty of pro wrestling compared to like other scripted entertainment, and that's the thing. I don't like to call pro wrestling entertainment, man. These are not. They are entertainers, but they're fucking wrestlers. These. Well, let me rephrase that. There used to be wrestlers, you know. Now these cats are basically stunt men, which we were anyway. But I don't. It's just I'm nitpicking. I'll get to my point. Um, I'd be damned. I'd be damned. It just it bothers me, man. I look at the state of the business now. It bothers me because there's so much talent, and you know I think a lot of the problem is
we were talking about
Vince,
that during the Rumble too, like pointing at a bunch of guys.
Vince McMahon with the way they make the gimmicks. Okay, if these guys didn't have to do some of these ridiculous ass gimmicks, like I don't know. I just in the storylines were more adult. Like go back to that Attitude Era, channel that shit. You know what? This woke ass audience, and that's I was talking about Sami Zayn, wasn't I? I said Sami Zayn is a woke asshole. All right. Him and his free Palestine shit. I'm like, don't cater to that crowd. That's not the crowd that's buying merch. That's not the crowd that's buying tickets. I'm like, they're not. I'm like, no. I'm like, you want wrestling fan? I'm like, people like us, like we're the people that would spend money on merch, will go to shows and support your product if you give us a good fucking product. Like I'm glad I didn't pay for this shit tonight.
Yeah, same. I'm glad I didn't go to it because
welcome back, Eric K.
That Rollins match, if I was there in attendance, I'd have
Hail
been pissed.
Sentinel. Sentinel says the Benoit murders.
It didn't help, but the product was already damaged at that point.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was already damaged. But yeah, the Benoit, that was, oh god, that was such a big linchpin and everything. Dude, that fucking. They literally tried to erase Chris Benoit from history, and I'm not excusing in any way what he did, because he was garbage as a parent and as a human being with any common decency. He was a piece of shit for that. But to me, I'm looking at I look at him in Chris Benoit, the worker, and motherfucker's one of the greatest of all time.
Yep.
Yeah,
one of the greatest of all time. I mean, I've seen him work matches as Kid Pegasus. You know what I mean? I mean, this dude could, under the mask, he could always work, and put on a 5-star match with a 1-star worker if he had to. But Benoit was the man. I mean, God, he could. His curse was his size. His inability to cut promos was forgivable, but in the eyes of Vince McMahon, it was his size. Vince put him over because Vince had no choice. He had to. He had to put him over when he did. He was too hot not to. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, the crowd loved him, but
sorry, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Because Sentinel sent us down a tangent, but.
Yep, he is, man.
But getting back to what happened with the Rumble. So after the Rollins Reigns match, which ultimately ended up like, kind of in the end, like it didn't almost even matter. Which, again, as somebody that enjoyed the Shield stuff, I wanted to actually see that rivalry take place.
Yeah.
And they're taken away from that. So automatically, and anymore, I'm a casual viewer of wrestling. So that doesn't really encourage me to want to come back. When I see a match that potentially I would like, and then they're sitting there basically gloss over it because, oh, come hell or come high water, we got to have this WrestleMania main event. So after their match, which ends up ultimately anticlimactic, we get the 30 woman Royal Rumble. And, I Sasha comes out first.
I liked her outfit.
Who's that? Sasha
And,
Banks.
Yeah, I liked her
and
outfit. She
she
was like,
and she
She
had the
do.
Sailor Moon thing going
Yeah.
on.
She's a smoke show.
yeah.
Like that was never in question. Like
She's just
beautiful.
Mhm.
she's
She's
an asshole
beautiful.
though.
Yeah, and she's not that good of a worker. I'm sorry. I don't
No,
care.
she's a botcher.
She's a botch fest.
Mhm.
Like I'm sorry, every time. Oh well, she had such good match because Charlotte carried her in their
Mhm.
matches. I don't give a fuck. I've gotten so much heat for that, but Charlotte carries her every
I
match
like
they're in.
Charlotte. A lot of people give me shit for it, but I like
Yep.
her.
Same here. She's from a wrestling pedigree.
Yep.
Yeah, but she understands how to work.
Yep.
She had
And
psychology, man.
tell a story while doing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Sasha comes out number one. She's rocking Sailor Moon gear.
Mhm.
She gets a decent pop. Melina comes out number two of all people. And I was texted Tony Tone Deaf like
Yeah, he
well
texted me too.
yeah, and I'm like, damn, Melina's thick.
Mhm.
Yeah, she was.
I had to look her up because I didn't remember who the hell she was.
And then
I'm looking at it and I'm trying to find pictures of her.
and then and then Melina got quickly eliminated by Sasha. Tamina comes out at 3, and
She didn't do much of shit except walk around the ring.
and then Kelly came out.
Wait, she ain't
and
dead? No, that's
and
Ashley Massaro that's dead. Sorry.
yeah, and Kelly got eliminated rather quickly by Sasha Banks, even though Kelly was looking damn good.
She's
Mhm.
gorgeous, bro.
She's still, oh
And
my god.
and that's the thing is like she seems like she's actually like a sweetheart. Like she's one of the ones that comes off to me like is really genuine. Like she's probably really nice. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like you ever watch them shoot interviews, Draven, where they're like, Drew, you probably seen these too, where they're like, where they play the game, where the dude's like, is she a rat or not? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
Kelly strikes me as the one that is not a rat. Hail, lovely Sherry and
Hey,
Austinator.
Tehillim,
Tehillim.
we're actually talking about the show that just happened an hour or so ago, which was the Rumble. Austinator said the women's Rumble was the better of the two Rumbles.
Mm.
Well, here's the thing, and I'll say about the women's Rumble, and when we get to a little further in, like I'll point out what I really liked about it, but you know, it it was that chick from NXT, and I always thought this chick was talented, Aaliyah.
Oh, I liked her.
She had a good showing.
Mm.
She lasted about 20 plus minutes. She had some close calls. She stayed in the match.
Mhm.
She was good. I think that that's a chick that if they give a push, she'll probably go places. But
But the
they
thing
never.
is, she came from NXT. They're never gonna push her.
Nope.
They
Nope.
always bury anybody that comes from NXT. So it's like, why even have NXT if you're gonna do that shit?
Well,
to
and then they
your
did that
guys?
sick rebrand
But-
on NXT, and it's like trash now. They put all the trash writing in it.
Mhm.
What did they do to NXT with all this Fruit Loop ass fucking rainbow shit? And
Because, dude, they let the corporate writing team handle it instead of Triple H and his people, and they've just absolutely destroyed the spirit of what it was.
you had NXT. Okay, if all right, I'm just and I'm just saying this right now. If this senile racist ass piece of shit, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit back. Vince McMahon would you own WCW. All right, now just hear me out. Hear me out. At this point, you've got WCW, right? So you've got this pay-per-view, this mystery pay-per-view. You come up and you rebrand. Never mind. This is another stream altogether. I've got this whole gimmick played out in my head. You could relaunch WCW and create basically like the Harlem Globetrotters versus the Washington Generals. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you booked it right, but Vince's ego wouldn't let him book it the
No.
way it should be booked, because I would bring WCW back. I would build it, and I would nurture it, and I would treat it, like a newborn, and like I said, nurture its development and grow it to be something to where people are watching it, and because then your other product is gonna increase in value too, because you're going to want that to match what you're doing over here, but you're going to let this one get a little more shine, even though you know what I mean. But Vince's ego wouldn't let him do that, because then you could raise the interest in wrestling up, because AEW is taking that away from WWE.
Right.
But WWE has ECW, which their relaunch of that was garbage.
Yep.
And this is the problem with Vince McMahon being in charge, is if you had actual people with wrestling, I was like, we've got an entire, and they just bought the copyrights to WCW pay-per-view names that were up for grabs, but they went out and bought them again. So it's like you could.
Well, Nick Khan right now is the president, so maybe I know that's one of the reasons why we got a lot of these releases this past year.
Well, the problem is with NXT, and it's been long rumored that Vince was not happy that NXT was outshining the main roster product.
Yep.
Because it was. The takeovers, all the pay-per-views, everything that they were doing, they could do no wrong, because why? They stuck to wrestling. Triple H and Shawn, the people that they had working for them, they stuck to wrestling. They had a good roster. They knew exactly what to do with the talent that they had. And they created some stars. And the problem is, as soon as those got called up to Raw or SmackDown, they were almost intentionally buried, alluding to what Angela said.
Malachi and Ricochet is an example. Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, that was the problem. And then eventually Vince just put the nail in the coffin with NXT, did that stupid ass rebrand of it, and now NXT 2.0, which is absolute trash. And these poor kids that were going to actually go somewhere have no shot now, because the suits are in charge of it, and Triple H can't say shit. They pretty much diminished his capacity, so it sucks.
This is the problem with motherfuckers that don't know the wrestling business being involved with the fucking wrestling business. It's if you need to be one of the boys to be able to book, and you can't. I'm sorry, you can't, like you said, the suits run this shit. You can't be that. You can't let people with no acumen for this thing, because this is a fickle bitch you're dealing with, and people can pick up on both. This is the problem. Is people are conditioned to a subpar product, and but because WWE makes it flashy and pretty for the short attention span generation, this is why you're still selling shit, and people are hungry for it now because of COVID.
Yep.
So they're willing to gobble up anything. it is, man. It hurts my soul to see the fucking business that I grew up watching and loving and was a part of for a fucking decade be where it is now.
Right.
And then I get told by these dumbass fucking marks that, oh, well, you don't know shit, blah blah blah. You were never in the fucking WWE. You don't know anything. I'm like, I spent a decade doing this shit. Trust me.
Mhm.
I know. I ran a promotion. I booked. I've been there, done that. I've seen it. I understand that it's on a bigger scale there. Yes, absolutely. But everything is the same. It's the same kind of show.
But
If you're
yeah,
sorry,
you know, I totally get what you're saying, brother. You know, but
and
and
it kills me.
yeah, I'm sure. But you know, back to the action though. You know,
Sorry.
Aaliyah had a good run.
Mhm.
You know, Tamina came in. You know, Liv Morgan's in. Uh, it was it was it was decent. Liv Morgan, I thought, had a fairly decent showing. Besides Aaliyah,
Yeah.
uh, Selena Vega came out after a little while. Um, you know, they go at it a bit. Bianca Belair, who a lot of people thought was going to win, came out,
Mhm.
which again, they will never put Bianca Belair over either. You know, like,
Am I the only one that thinks her fucking that horse hair she's got is ridiculous?
oh, I hate that.
It's so
I
bad.
do
Like,
hate that.
what the fuck? Like, girl, that shit has to be heavy. Like,
Mhm.
Hmm.
she's a decent worker, but
Mhm.
it's like, just what the fuck? Like, this shit just hurts my brain. It's, but I mean, she's not, like, honestly, like, she's not great. She's serviceable, but
Mhm.
I don't know. Like, I didn't like, because she worked Sasha at Mania, so that was the
Hmm.
big deal because yay, they checked fucking boxes.
Yeah.
Sasha's not that fucking great of a worker either. Like, I was like, you're fucking celebrating mediocrity, but
Yep.
because they're both black women, they check a box. I'm like, kudos to you two for making it to the dance, but I'm like, dude, Miss Jacqueline was better than fucking
No,
than
out of
either of those two.
out of the four horsewomen, if you're gonna put it at who's actually good out of the four of them, it's Charlotte and Bailey by a mile.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe by a mile. Yeah, it's not even close. Sasha Banks is mediocre at best, and
Yep.
Becky Lynch, all she is female Fit Finley. She's a brawler.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what she is. She is a female. Exactly.
She's
It,
female Fit Finley.
yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
So you know that so it's like because Becky Lynch is not she's a main eventer because she lucked into it. She's not.
Dude,
She,
what's Charlotte and what's that big, oh my god, why do I find her attractive? I don't know. Rhea Ripley.
Oh
Rhea
Um
Ripley.
yeah, I like her.
I
Rhea Ripley has potential,
she
but
That's
can work.
yeah.
She can work. Like, her gimmick works for her. She could be a main eventer, like, just
she
a,
could, yeah.
a
Mhm.
little
But again,
more.
they always screw up, and they never know how to market these
Yep.
people
Yep.
the right way. Because man, if I had a talent like Rhea Ripley, my God, I would push her to the fucking moon.
Yep.
Because she would
Yeah.
be like the unbeatable beast chick.
Yep.
You know, I mean,
She likes metal and shit too, so I'm all
yeah.
in.
But
I like
but I
her.
think she's
I
a good
do.
wrestler, Angelus. I
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
do.
she is.
She is. She can work. I do. That's the thing about it, is I like her. She can work. But honestly, man, yeah. Who said in the chat? Charlotte. Um, yeah, Charlotte's overpushed. Charlotte's got talent.
Charlotte's
Exactly.
overpushed, but she has
She's
talent.
overpushed. Yeah. let's see. Wait, Bianca can do athletic stuff. She has charisma. Yeah, but she's so like. Other than that fucking big ass fucking, like I said, that horsehair weave she's got, she's pretty like. I mean, she's serviceable. She does have some charisma, but I don't see her being like an elite. Like I said, man, I remember what's her name, Miss Jacqueline. Well, she was Miss Texas. It was just Jacqueline. She, fuck that. She could work. Like she was.
Well,
And I'm not even talking about the locker room shit in Memphis.
Well, Bianca Belair, like Vigilante says,
she's solid.
She has good charisma. She does athletic stuff.
She's solid.
I think she's super solid. But again, they won't market these people right. They don't give them decent gimmicks. And I didn't get the whole thing with Sonya Deville. They're kind of trying to make her like mini authority and whatnot, and they've got her mixed up in this stupid ass thing with Naomi. And while they brought out for a token person to fill a body for the Rumble, they brought out Cameron, the other Funkadactyl chick, and of course Sonya Deville beats up the other Funkadactyl chick, and Naomi was out right after her. Coincidence? I think not.
But Funkadactyls, holy shit!
But that whole thing with her being like she's like a chairman or some shit or an official.
Yeah, she's
like, when I have the jacket on, you can't.
She's one of the SmackDown GMs or something like that. Yeah.
What fucking stupid ass storyline is this? This is the dumbest shit
I will say this: as far as the veterans, like the legends. Because we had a couple of them come in. Obviously, Michelle McCool was in there. Michelle McCool can wrestle. Mrs. Undertaker,
she can work.
Mrs. Undertaker is pretty fucking good. If they actually had her on the roster now, she would actually, if she was booked right, she would be a champion.
That's Mrs. Calloway. That's female Undertaker.
Yeah, that's Mrs. Undertaker, but she can work. She's good. She's still good.
Dude, she was in the fucking Diva Search, or was she on Tough Enough? One of them gimmicks years ago, and she was win.
A Diva Search person.
Yeah, dude. The second I saw her, obviously, I'm looking at her going like, this chick looks athletic. I'm like, she had a little 6-pack. She got them. I'm like, I like her. I'm like. This, because like to me that was like, I'm like, you look like an athlete, you look like a wrestler. Like to me, like being somebody who worked in the fitness industry and then in wrestling, I'm like, that's the kind of fucking look you need, like that, and then she could work too. Yeah, that was the thing about her, is like
Lita
I thought
great too.
Lita looked decent to me.
I thought she looked good.
Rhea Ripley was number 16. She was awesome. 16
she looked younger than she actually is, honestly.
Yeah,
that was the makeup, dog.
I know.
Carmella was. I could have done without Carmella.
I would have
never been a big
seen
fan
Trish
of
Stratus come in.
Carmella
on Instagram, like, and she's really ripped right now.
Trish is kept in great shape. Yeah, she's one that she comes back and you're like, all right, like this looks like it. Lita,
talk about disrespecting vets. By the way, the number 18 was Ivory. They had her come out with the right to censor.
That was so good.
and they just like and Rhea Ripley just like basically just like face planted her right off the
dude
apron.
That's the problem with them. Ivory, to me, that her fine ass is always Tina Ferrari from Glow.
Yep.
I've been a fan of her. Ivory was fine back in the day. But she was such a good worker. She never got her just due. I thought in the Fed, and that right to censor gimmick really took away from her. Yeah, Who else tonight? Molly Holly
Yeah.
didn't get a fair shake tonight
No,
either.
God, poor Molly Holly
Who
did not
who
get a
is
first.
who is the chick? Vigilante Williamson just said Ivory is 60. God damn, that makes me feel old as shit.
Still looks good, I think.
Man,
Ivory is 60, bro. Damn.
God damn, dude.
Damn.
Fucking killing me, Smalls. I'm gonna tip a sip of whiskey
Yeah.
for the working man.
But no, the thing that I don't know if anybody was asking for is the return of the Bella Twins.
Oh Jesus, no,
Bree
no.
was number 19. So I wasn't overly impressed with that, but I really popped for number 20, which was Mickie James. Of course, Mickie James actually got a full graphic bar that said Impact Women's Champion. She came out with the Impact title, and Mickie came in and actually cleaned house. Dropped everybody in the ring and had a nice spot there, and she ended up eliminating Michelle McCool, which was kind of awesome because those of us who are kind of old heads remember their rivalry, and that was actually pretty cool.
That's payback for the Piggy James shit.
Yeah,
Lay Cool had that because that was good. John Cena, remember? She was hooked up with John Cena, and John Cena got bored with her. He broke up with her, and he turned the locker room on her. Then Michelle McCool and Layla, Team Lay Cool, started that whole Piggy James thing. Calling a beautiful, fit woman fat was like, I'm like, damn, you John Cena really turned, you turned the product on her because you got bored with her.
Because she's been a fucking she's had some banger matches
she's been around since 06.
But she's had some banger matches as
just
Impact Women's Champion lately.
Oh, in Impact?
Yeah. Mickie James is an Impact.
Yeah, I haven't got to see her work over there. I haven't
seen anything of Impact lately.
I haven't watched Impact since probably 20.
Yeah, I've watched Impact on and off here lately because I was sick of WWE and a little bit of AEW, so I've been watching that. But anyways, Sarah, some other highlights. Obviously, Summer Rae showed back up.
The legend Summer Rae.
Sarah Logan was Sarah Logan was brought out for the obviously just her Rumble appearance, but it was cool that we kind of got a nice reunion moment between Liv Morgan and her.
I like Liv Morgan.
Then
she was immediately eliminated, which was what the fuck?
Yeah, of course. 26 was Lita. She came out, and Lita and Mickie. That's funny because they actually had some good matches back. If you look in the archives over the women's title, Mickie James and Lita had a decent rivalry. So Lita got her with rope DDT, and Mickie was eliminated finally. But Mickie lasted a decent amount. I thought that they didn't do her completely dirty, and I think a lot of it she had some protection, being that she was the Impact Women's Champion, and you got a whole company that's going to raise hell with you if you do their champion wrong.
Yeah, they couldn't do her dirty like that.
And that's why I think they had Lita actually eliminate her. And with Lita being on limited contract, I don't think she's on an actual contract. I think she's just on a quick appearance deal with WWE. There's a
Yeah.
chance, though. I would actually file this away, guys, because that Lita Mickey thing might not be done because if Lita's not offered a something to do with the WWE, because now that Rousey's back and that's all going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that Lita and Charlotte are going to have anything to go on. So I would be surprised if Lita possibly gets a shot at the Impact Women's Belt.
Mm.
They may have a feud over that, so keep an eye on that. So Flair and Lita winds up facing off. They kind of go at it. They had the whole thing with Nikki Ash and Molly Holly. When Molly Holly came out, they had basically Nikki Cross acting like she was jealous. She attacks Molly. I refuse.
And she's like, there can only be one.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, is that who the Highlander bitch was with the mask on?
Yeah.
And it's just like I like Nikki Cross as Nikki Cross. I don't know why they had to give her that stupid gimmick.
Because it's Vince McMahon.
It's so garbage. Rousey comes out at 28. Shotzi Blackheart was 29, and then number 30 was Baszler. So pretty much the action was decent, but you knew as soon as Rousey came out, Rousey was going to win.
All she did was put people in the fucking corner and punch them. Like, she didn't do shit.
But I knew that Rousey was going to win because ultimately, you guys know what they're setting up for.
Yep.
Because they're making the argument that when Becky became Becky Two Belts, whatever, she didn't beat Rousey clean.
What is this big time Bex thing?
It's stupid. That's
What
another
what
stupid
the
gimmick.
fuck is this? Like, oh my god.
Another stupid gimmick, yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
Why? Oh my god, it hurts. It fucking hurts.
Hail to another monster, by the way, and hail to Mark Lursa. It's good to see you guys.
That's because Ronda was gonna leave because she wanted to start a family and shit. At that time, so they had her lose the match. But now I have a feeling, like you were saying, they're gonna like do the 3-way thing again, and probably put her with the title or both.
I don't know that they're gonna do a 3-way. I think it's just gonna be her and Becky for the what does Becky have, the Raw belt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would probably be her and Becky for the Raw belt because
you don't think Charlotte's gonna want a piece of that after being eliminated by her?
Yeah, it might be. But
and why was she in the Rumble anyway? She had the freaking belt.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me.
Because again, if she would have won, she would have got to handpick her opponent. So. That's at least the argument they made on the broadcast. So it's like whatever. It didn't make sense. They just needed.
We didn't have another.
They just needed a body. They needed a body. Is what it was. Yeah,
we fired everybody else. We need you in this match.
Yep.
So ultimately, Rousey wins. We know what it's setting up for. So nobody was super surprised when Ronda Rousey showed up that Ronda Rousey was going to win. As much as, people wanted probably other people to win, everybody knew as soon as they laid eyes that Ronda Rousey walked out, she was like, well, she's going to win.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's the Women's Royal Rumble. It was halfway decent. I liked the Mickie James entrance. I liked the fact Mickie James had a good showing. I liked Aaliyah's showing in the match. And Michelle McCool was pretty good. And other than that, I was not impressed.
Michelle McCool should have done the Undertaker's entrance.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been dope.
She had the cross on the back.
She's married to him. I mean, why not? That would have been the shit, dude. She comes down. And she's got the freaking trench coat on, takes the hat off.
She should have done the old American Badass entrance herself.
If she was wearing assless chaps, I wouldn't have complained. I'm just saying.
No, hell no. No, nobody would.
I don't mean to objectify, but I'm a man. So.
I like
the
short girl. What's her name? The Queen or whatever? Queen whatever.
Oh, Selena. That's That's Aleister Black's wife. Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
She's
like tiny as.
She's you know what though? She's a good wrestler, but she's luchador trained. She's not.
Okay.
She's not a rookie by any means.
Yeah.
They didn't bring in shit. There was somebody else I was trying to think of tonight. They didn't bring Victoria in tonight, did they?
No.
Lisa Marie, no.
No.
I feel bad for her, man. Like, she was so talented in her heyday. Like, she had like a couple runs with the women's title, but like, she never was like appreciated for like the fucking goddess she was. Like, she was amazing. Like, she started out as one of the Godfather's hoes, got chokeslammed through a table, and ended up like becoming a worker. And yeah, I always thought she got the short end of the stick on the booking in WWE. She got a little bit better shine in TNA when she went over there as Tara. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I always thought Victoria got the short end of the stick, man.
Oh yeah, I think
so. Agreed.
I remember her last match. She jobbed out to fucking Michelle McCool. I was like, you're gonna job her out her last match, like, and it was on SmackDown too. I'm like, that's an insult. That is insulting.
After the Women's Rumble, we went to we had the Becky Lynch match, which was pretty much like you knew Becky Lynch was going to win. It was Becky Lynch versus Piper Niven. I refuse to call Piper Niven Dewdrop. I'm sorry. I think that's just a stupid name.
It's a terrible name.
So Becky Lynch kind of Piper Niven got in some offense. But Becky Lynch got her basically with a super pump handle slam from the second rope and wins via that. Which why do we not just go back to badass Becky Lynch? Why do we have to have this whole big time Bex thing? It's just stupid. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm the man was kind of goofy as it was, but I liked at least that she was a badass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're gonna let her be a badass brawler, let her be a badass brawler. Stop with the garbage.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing that they did with Seth Rollins and the whole drip gimmick.
No, I didn't see that.
So like, really, you know, don't need.
Wasn't he messing with like Edge there for a little bit, like because he was at his house or some shit?
Yeah, they had a brief rivalry. So Becky goes over Piper Niven, which is not out of the ordinary.
No. Somebody like Dewdrop or whatever the
Piper Niven is not going to beat Becky Lynch.
Never going to win. They're never going to push her.
Yeah. Lashley versus Brock. You know, I'll admit, I had an idea maybe the swerve was coming, but I didn't think that they would do a swerve so fast. But they did essentially the Heyman swerve in this one.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Lashley ends up winning the belt because they had they had actually 2 knocked out ref spots. The second one was when Brock was getting Lashley up in an F5. You know, as he's spinning him, you got Lashley's boot caught the ref. The ref falls down, and he's out. and then Roman comes down and takes the WWE title, beats Lesnar, and of course, you know, they throw Lashley over top, he cheat pin, and Lashley's your new champion after
I
the ref wakes up.
I I'm the new champion. I I I I I pinned Corn Pop, but he was a bad dude. But I pinned. No, yeah, Lashley and oh man, yeah, that was something.
Yep.
That was something, wasn't it? Just something. Um, I haven't been that disappointed since the first time I had sex, and that's coming from the girl's perspective. Um, it, it was just like, this could have been a Donnybrook. Like, you got two
Yeah,
beasts, dude. Like, dude, let them go outside the ring. Like, do more. Like,
thank you.
they didn't do like. I've done matches like this with where we're like, hey, we're gonna go outside in the crowd, we're gonna move chairs, we're gonna oversell this story, like sell the freaking story. I didn't get that from this at all. Like the finish, I'm like, and it doesn't have to be a clean finish, but it was just, and I see what you're doing with Heyman, but it's still, it was just like. It just feels like they missed. It's just like the mark was over here, and they were like way over here with it. It's a miss. It was. It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
They're doing like finishes like WCW used to do.
Yeah, you want it.
That's it. And I love WCW,
did.
but the finishes are the worst.
Yep. When you have like a match that is like gonna put asses in the seats. It's an irresistible force versus the immovable object, and you're hyping it. Let these dudes just beat on each other a little bit, man. Yep. Let them no sell a few things, man, back and forth, and like have it to where there's some intrigue, like, okay, who's going to be the first one to get in and move on the other guy, and they had that at the beginning, but then they went away from it, and then they did the stupid swerve moment again so they could pump up Reigns.
Yeah,
and that ref literally ran into it. Like he walked into it. Like you saw him walk into that shit. There was no mistake. He walked into it and to get hit.
You got two fucking ref bumps. Like that's it's over. It's over. The shit's overbooked.
Mm-hmm.
It was it's overbooked, and matches like this frustrated me. It's just like you can tell the story without trying to overcomplicate things. You want to make people cheer, but I mean you can make them think, but don't try to write Tolstoy. It's wrestling. Give them a good guy that they can get behind, and give them a villain they can boo, and make it somewhat compelling, and you've got a show, and make sure your workers can convey their points, and it's just like they just, I don't know, man, they put way I don't know, it's like they don't, it's like you say they overcomplicate it, but then it's like they look at it and it's like, do you even know what you're doing at all? I don't know.
In other news, the next match.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
We're shitting on everything. Sorry.
Well, no,
I'm sorry.
The next match was The Miz and Maurice versus Edge and Beth Phoenix.
I actually didn't mind this match, but that's just me.
We actually knew who was going to win this. Obviously,
Yeah.
you knew Edge and Beth were going to take it.
Yeah.
It was actually surprisingly not too bad a match. I agree with you there, Angel. It's, there was a little cat and mouse chase around the ring a little bit, and then, some spots between, a couple spots between the men and the women, and,
fuck them spots. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. This damages the product, and it doesn't. This shit's on your male workers right here. I'm telling you this, and I'm not being fucking sexist. I'm being real.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking tell me. You're gonna fucking tell me that the Edge, who worked the Undertaker at WrestleMania, went over on Undertaker, is gonna fucking get hit by a fucking Hurricane Rana from Maurice, or the Miz, who worked Cena at Mania, is gonna get power. And I say this as somebody who fucking I love Beth Phoenix. She is like every box I have in an ideal female, like Beth Phoenix checks that shit. Like and she power bombed the Miz tonight. That right there, if y'all remember Mark Marrow, his career ended. His career ended when his fucking wife power bombed him. That I'm just saying that shit does it look, it is what it is at this point for the Miz
but
and
Beth
Edge.
Phoenix is legitimately strong as fuck.
She is, but this shit does not it fucks over your male workers.
If you're gonna let them do that to the males, you need to let the males do it to the females.
And they don't, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
You don't ever see a female taking a choke slam through a fucking table anymore. You don't see Mae Young getting power bombed off taking a Dudley 3D anymore. If they did that shit now, okay, then let it go both ways, but they don't, and that's the fucking problem. And I say that as a fucking worker because I work with women who are like, put me through a fucking table, and we're like, you're going through the fucking table, girl. But
get the tables,
dude. My first night in IWE, we did that. It's like dragging a fucking table in the ring. We're putting you through, but no, it's just like you can't have this, because to me it's bad optics for your dude. That Edge is a legit legend, man, at this point. And Miz is a fucking WrestleMania, like, he main evented before, didn't he?
Yeah.
See? And so you're building somebody who's eventually going to be in your Hall of Fame. Miz will be. He absolutely will be, because that's how the Hall of Fame works.
Yep.
And so you're going to undersell them now. To me, it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, let the women take some bumps, man. They got it. If you're going to give them, then, like I said, I'm all for equality. If you're going to give them, I have no problem taking it, but you're going to fucking take some too.
Yeah. Well.
But that's just me being a fickle ass veteran and a skeptic. And I
get it.
You know what I mean? I just look at it and it's like, and like I said, I love Beth. She's a powerhouse, man. Yeah. And that's what I always loved about her, is like,
they never gave her a good run either.
They put, okay, so
Same
I went to
Natalia.
Raw. Yeah, dude, they put Candice Michelle over on Beth. I'm like, when Beth broke Candice's collarbone, I was happy as fuck. I'm like, get that stupid bitch out of the fucking ring. She didn't belong in there anyway. Stupid GoDaddy bitch, get your ass out of here. Like, I never had. I was like, you don't belong in there. She's one of the people, you didn't belong in the ring. Beth was a worker, is a worker. Like, she's legit. Like, yeah, Natalia, man, Neidhart.
That's because she's part of the Hearts. That's the only reason she's not getting a push.
You talk about a wrestling. You talk about a wrestling pedigree.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
Vince
Edge and Beth
models.
Phoenix. Edge and Beth Phoenix win this one. I didn't find that. I didn't find that to be like. out of the realm of surprise or anything. I kind of figured they'd go over.
Eric K.
I am. I don't
Yep.
fucking care. I've been in them fucking locker rooms. I go off on that for another 2 hours.
Bitch is like, I want to see Miz beat the shit out of him. Last time they did was
He
when they
would have.
RKO'd Nia Jax.
That
And
big
that-
bitch had it coming.
Yeah, that was dope when Nia Jax got RKO'd. Not gonna lie. The 30-man Royal Rumble, the men's Rumble. I liked AJ being one, and I liked Nakamura being two. You know, I wish selfishly that would have went on a little longer because
yeah, absolutely.
the way they were wrestling, man. God, they that was like, you know, that's like an NJPW dream match right there.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, it is.
You two styles at like what 41 or 42. He's like my age.
Mm-hmm.
He is. He's about my age, and I don't
He's
know
still
how
a
old
beast.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I don't know like how old Shinsuke is, but those two are they're peanut butter and jelly, baby. They just they have an ebb and flow in the ring, and you give me a singles
Shinsuke
match.
is 41.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, that's that right there. That's veteran experience.
AJ is 44.
Fuck, dude. That right there, them two are veteran storytellers, man. Give them a 20-minute main event, and they'll sell the house out.
Hell yeah,
They'll sell the fucking house out. That was a great start to the match. Honestly, like I was sitting there before going, oh okay, I can get down with this.
That was a good 1 and 2 for sure. Austin Theory at number 3, I didn't have a problem with. The kid that kid shows promising talent to me. I don't, I saw him a bit in NXT when I was watching NXT. He's not bad. He's raw, but he's not bad. And I thought that he did well in this match. Bobby Roode was like, it's funny. I like how they had the moment where Bobby Roode and AJ kind of got in each other's face, and they were alluding to their shit back in TNA.
Impact. Yep.
And that was nice. That Ridge Holland guy, the number 5 guy, I really didn't care for that much. I was like, okay, this guy's just a big retard. Like, he didn't impress me.
Yep.
Montez Ford was your next guy. I'm really high on Montez Ford. I like Montez Ford.
Yeah, my buddy Shadows likes him.
Guy's a good athlete. Everything else, I just don't think like they give him enough of a chance.
What I say about him and his tag partner earlier, Draven? I said that's the Hart Foundation right there.
Mm-hmm.
Montez is the hitman. That dude has all the talent.
Yep.
He's got more charisma than Brett. I would say already, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously. I'm not saying he's a better worker, but I'm just saying, in that vein, like his partner is definitely Jim the Anvil to him being Brett the Hitman. In terms of who's gonna have the more successful solo career, it's Montez all day. Yeah, mm-hmm. I'm with you, Drew. That kid has a future if he can stay healthy. He's definitely a talented athlete.
So after Ford comes out, we get Damian Priest. Damian Priest, if I was gonna pick like one favorite guy I think that I have in WWE. If I watched WWE on a regular basis, I would say right now probably is Damian Priest because I like, Punishment Martinez, Damian Priest, whatever you want to call him.
I liked him too.
Damian Priest is damn good.
I liked the promo they did like a little like before everything, where he like got that really deep voice or whatever, and he's sort of like don't let Damien come out basically.
Oh yeah, dude,
yeah. I thought that was cool.
That was sweet. Yeah, I like Damian Priest. I think Damian Priest is good. He's talented as well. Sami Zayn was the next guy out, which I fucking can't stand Sami Zayn. I know he's a good wrestler.
He's woke as shit.
Yeah, but yeah, because he's a huge woke tard.
Yeah, he's woke as fuck. Fuck Sami Zayn. That's exactly what I said. We were watching the show.
Yeah, it was.
The whole spot with Johnny Knoxville, coming out at number 9, I thought that was absolutely stupid.
Yeah, it was dumb.
But then again, it's yet another stupid celebrity moment from WWE because they always have to have a stupid celebrity moment.
Look at Vigilante Williamson's comment at 149, Drew. Antifa Sami Zayn.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is, bro.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's what he's up. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Hail to you, Spencer. Good to see you in the chat. And hashtag Oscar. Yeah, Oscar's she's a little hottie.
What Spencer is that? Kabuto Studios.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Hail Spencer. I always read you, dude. I use a lot of Spencer's articles over on the channel. So, hail to you, Spencer.
But
we always shout them out, man.
He's a Kamen Rider fan, so he's cool in my book.
Yeah, Spencer's awesome. He's the
always.
He's our associate editor.
Right.
Yeah, he's the other editor in chief. So yeah, after Knoxville got eliminated by Sammy, Angelo Dawkins comes out at 10. And then Angelo Dawkins, we talked about him just a second ago. Definitely Montez is the better of the two, I think, in that tag team. But Dawkins was in there for a little bit, but then our number 11 guy that came out is obviously that big almost guy. Now that's another one. He has potential.
Holy shit. You could do so much. I was looking at him. I'm like,
yes.
Oh my god, this guy is a fucking monster.
You know what he reminded me of? Giant fucking Gonzalez. Giant Gonzalez. That's what that guy.
This dude is Paul White in his prime. He's Paul White. He's big. He's fit. He's athletic. I'm like, dude, this guy is your company's monster. Like, I would build him up as the biggest, baddest heel. Give him a manager. Let somebody talk for him. We haven't heard him on the mic yet, right? You want your big man to like walk softly, carry a big stick kind of thing. He doesn't need to talk. You give him a good manager, a Paul Heyman type, a good heel manager. He would be a great Heyman guy. Yeah. And then you take your baby and they just have this program that carries out over like, make it a slow burn. Make this program go 6 months. 6 fucking months of cat and mouse with this shit. Like, just a little bit here and there. They're in tag matches. Matches get thrown out early. Things of the like that. Make the crowd want more though. Like, yeah, that's it. Vigilante says he needs to squash jobbers. Yeah, in the process to this build, he's working the other guy. Like, they'll be in a tag match. He's like destroying the other guy. He almost gets there. They're both like almost. Make them want it to where it's that crescendo when they finally lock horns. And, you get that Gorilla Monsoon type atmosphere where the electricity is so thick you could cut it with a knife. And I'm not talking about court at my first divorce. But no, seriously, But no, just that kind. You could build that kind of feud, but they don't do it. They
Nope.
just don't, and it's like it's such a detriment to the guys on the fucking card, and that's what
Yeah.
kills me. Is it shortchanging your fucking talent?
Yep.
Well, they had him in there, you know, like the guy, because the guy made a dominant showing when he gets in the ring, you know, because like you get Ricochet, like people like Ricochet are in there, they try to jump at him, and he just like laughs and you know swats Ricochet away like a gnat.
That's another talented guy, Ricochet.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
And they
but
buried the shit out of him.
oh, they
and-
buried the shit out of him. But
No.
you know, Ricochet really put that guy over.
Mhm.
He
You
did.
know, with the
He
spots
abs-
that they had
he
in
did.
there. And you know, you would think anybody with the brain would push this dude to the moon as a heel, like you said,
Yep.
Etep, you know, because this guy is fucking, you know, he's walking money.
Oh,
He's gold.
dude. They like I said, that is exactly what WCW had with Paul White when they got him. Is you have this big raw athlete, like this dude is like you can mold him into a just monstrous, amazing talent for your company. Like that kid has like I don't know how old that guy is, Osmos, but I mean it's just like this is like as a promoter and a booker, I'm sitting back going like, oh my god, like I'm gonna make you a star.
Mhm.
Like I'm gonna, and whoever's working with you is gonna glean from that too. Like who's ever involved in this program,
He's 27.
like,
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah.
he's a fucking baby.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like he in the business, dude, he's a baby. Like oh my god, like yeah, like make this guy a star. Like please, like
Because I
you can
guess
build
him
a-
and AJ are like tag partners.
They were. Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I really like Omos. I do. I think that guy is like
Yeah.
potential. But anyway, you know, I kind of like the spot that they did when they had Chad Gable come out and Omos was dominating, and he pulls everybody aside and says, "Hey, look, I have a plan," you know, and he sends Damian Priest at the guy. The guy eliminates Damian Priest, and Damian Priest is believable. He's a big guy too. You know, he's a pretty big guy, and Omos just absolutely dominates him. But you know, the thing is you know, the whole spot with Gable was cool. Like, guys, I have a plan. You know, let's go after this guy. So then, you know, you know, they're trying to get Omos out, and then Baron Corbin comes out at 15, which you know, Baron Corbin's another one. If they would have just stuck with the lone wolf gimmick that they had for him, he'd have been fine. But all this stupid shit, they can never find a gimmick to land for this guy. Because again, they've ruined the shit out of Baron Corbin.
He looks better with the buzzed head, though.
Oh yeah. And then you have Ziggler out there, which I don't care one way or the other. Ziggler's a solid bet. But you know, when Ziggler's in one of these, he's never going to win it. He'll last a long time, but he won't win it.
Yeah.
Sheamus was the guy that they had next. You know, then you have the Rick Boogs guy. I thought that Rick Boogs guy had a couple of really good spots. Showed off his strength really well. That's another guy they could do something with. But again, you know, they give him the shitty, you know, hello, my name is Elias gimmick to Boogs playing the fucking guitar, you know, and shit like that. I mean, what the hell? You got a guy that's like a strong man in the ring. You just make him a strong fucking dude and leave him be. You know, they had this dude, Moss or whatever, that they paired up with Corbin that came out 19th. He was, I wasn't impressed by that guy. Matt
The
Riddle.
dude with the fruity little suspenders and shit.
Yeah. After him, Riddle came out.
Yeah.
I like Matt Riddle.
I'm not sold on him. I'm not sold on him yet. Not yet.
McIntyre, of course, was number 21. You know, you knew McIntyre was going to make an impact. Owens came out at 22. Owens kind of came in at the House of Fire, hit a, had the pop-up powerbomb spot, had a stunner spot and whatnot. So wasn't too bad. 23 was Mysterio. 24 was Kofi. And oh God, did they have a botch?
Oh, dude. Yeah, that wasn't supposed to end like that for him.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of the match they had to rebook because he screwed that spot up. You know, like how much longer was he supposed to stay in?
Oh, he'd have been in there long because previous years, remember, Kofi's lasted a while. He always lasted a while. So that was surprising, but God,
talking about his botch.
Yeah, that was a huge botch.
Yeah, it was.
25 was Otis. I wasn't particularly impressed by Otis. Big E was decent. That rapper guy, the Bad Bunny guy, came out 27. Bad Bunny looks like he's got some wrestling training behind him. He had some good instincts. He had a nice spot with Rey Mysterio where they do the assisted 619. He did a frigging Canadian destroyer. So the guy obviously knows how to wrestle. If the guy was invested in wanting to wrestle, you probably turn that guy into a decent grappler if he wanted to. But that guy showed me something. He wasn't a typical celebrity. Shane came out at 28. Orton came out at 29. And then, of course, predictably, number 30, we have Brock Lesnar as our 30th guy.
Bork Laser.
And pretty much all that needs to be said is Brock Lesnar just took control of the match, whooped everybody's ass.
Yeah.
Ended up eliminating everybody and punching his ticket to WrestleMania. And that was our pay-per-view. But listen, the men's match was not, compared to previous years especially, the men's match wasn't so hot. I understood why they brought Brock out, because they had to atone for the swerve. Because again, folks, I know that you pretty much get the fact that they're pushing this whole, Brock and Roman collision for the Universal title. That's all that this boils down to. They have a hard on for that Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar match, and now they're going to have it at WrestleMania,
which we've seen a million times.
It's a once in a lifetime dream.
Which again, it should piss people off because you're diluting and just essentially throwing in the trash storylines and matches that people actually want to see, that would be invested in, like the Rollins Reigns story or you have the Lesnar Lashley that and these get marginalized, thrown in the trash for what?
Yeah, I
Because
actually thought that was going to be a decent match until they did the swerve.
yeah, because you're throwing good stuff out in order to sit there and book the almighty godly WrestleMania, which I'm sorry, WrestleMania every year sucks lately.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually one of the worst pay-per-views of the year, not one of the best.
And the only reason the Rumble's somewhat decent is because it's neat to see like some older wrestlers and shit come back.
Yeah, it's neat to
And
see.
then
It's neat to see the
WrestleMania has kind of
surprises.
become the same thing.
Hey,
I'll
man.
admit a lot of the reason that I watched it tonight was because I wanted to see the Forbidden Door stuff. It was cool to actually see Mickie James come out, be acknowledged as the Impact Women's Champion,
Mm-hmm.
and now
I'm actually surprised they did that, honestly.
And
I
now
was-
you have the potential of a possible Impact angle coming out of it. So
I was waiting for that wrestler, that lady wrestler named Brandon. I was waiting for him. I was waiting for him. I wanted to. I wanted to yell, "Let's go, Brandon! He's got hairy legs." But no, I did. That's it's a good. It's like I said. I wasn't overly thrilled. I don't know, man. I love Mickie James. I respect the hell out of her. She's talented. Always been hardworking. I felt bad for her, and a lot of people, I felt bad for her because Cena did her dirty. He did, and it adversely affected her career in WWE. And to see her as Impact champion, and Impact is basically a glorified indie company at this point. Get shine on a Fed pay-per-view. Good for you, girl. Get yours.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart. So absolutely happy as hell to see Mickie get that shine tonight, man.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I don't know. I just the product just disappoints me, especially going back and watching these old, Raw and Nitro cards and the pay-per-views back then. I want to play No Mercy, but it's by the time we're done with this, it's already 2 a.m. I gotta get up early tomorrow. Shit. I do, man. I just it makes me harken back to a better day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The current product, it hurts your fucking soul as a wrestling fan.
Yep. And I mentioned in the chat earlier about that match from AEW. That freaking thing is like 20 times better than anything that we got tonight. Like, and that's not even a pay-per-view. Like, what the fuck? Because I feel like the wrestlers then like gave 110% no matter what. Now they I don't know. Maybe it's not just the wrestlers, but it's the creative team, like you were saying, and how they're booking shit.
Well, yeah, you've got. I don't know. It seems like you've got people that don't know wrestling booking, wrestling shows. It's like they don't. It's not a wrestling show anymore. It's a television product. So you don't have a booking, a booking agent. You've got a fucking executive producer.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't work. Because it's wrestling. You're putting a television show on, and you can produce your segments, but at the end of the day, it's got you can have your quote unquote your drama, your male soap opera, but that all gets resolved in the ring. Everything you have needs to be able to be resolved in the ring.
Yep.
And I think they lose sight of that now with a lot of this stuff. I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's just me, but
Yeah, Vigilante WWE is only to booking to get ESPN clout and eventually sell to Disney or Apple, which is what it seems like that's gonna be the case, from everything that I've been hearing.
WWE sells to Disney. That's the death of pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Well, the death of WWE.
It's a death of wrestling because they own all the rights to everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Disney owns that shit. I mean, kiss it goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
I you know, right now, I've looked at, you know, it takes something big, um, it takes something big a long time to die, and the wrestling business has been dying since 2001 when Vince McMahon appeared on WCW Monday
Yep.
Nitro and announced that they were, and then the Shane McMahon, the invasion storyline,
Mm-hmm.
yada yada yada.
Yeah.
That right there was the fatal blow to professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's been dying for fucking 21 years at this point.
Yep.
And if if WWE were to be sold to Disney, that's it. You're done. It's over. You
Oh
know?
God, if they go to Disney, forget it. Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be absolute shit, a shit bucket from one end to the other. It already
Yeah.
is. Like they watered down the
Yep.
product so much.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
hired Nick Khan to sell the company. That's why
yeah,
he's doing all the
Vigilantes,
cuts and stuff. Yep.
Vigilantes, right about that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and that's what sucks because there's so much potential. You could see it tonight with some of the guys that showed out in the Rumble. You know, some of the young kids that they got are really good. That almost
Mm-hmm.
guy is really good. The some of the ladies, that Aaliyah chick, really good.
Yep.
Shotzi Blackheart, another one that's really good,
Mm-hmm.
but she doesn't get an opportunity, and that's the thing. I was kind of upset they didn't have Dakota Kai in the Rumble because I think Dakota Kai is pretty decent, but you know they didn't have her in the women's Rumble, which was surprising to say the least, because you know she's legitimately pretty good, but you know I don't know if they want to do some stuff to get fans back. I would like to see them get do some of more of the Forbidden Door type stuff. Um, you know, maybe for some. Oh, Viz, you're fine,
Mm-hmm.
dude. You know, speak on it, bro. Um, the thing is, you know, I think like having an open door to stuff like that, or having a working relationship with Impact might help them. But
Yeah.
they're like at this point, WWE is so far gone with how they botched NXT, how they absolutely dismantled it, and it's all because of Vince's ego.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only
Yep.
reason.
Yep.
That's a
NXT was,
problem.
And the
and
only
it,
reason they're doing the Forbidden Door shit is because AEW has been doing that shit. If
yeah,
it wasn't
well,
for AEW doing that, they would have never fucking did that
No,
shit.
Vince is too egotistical, too narcissistic to use anybody else's talent. But
Mm-hmm.
no, man, if he was smart, he did that with ECW back in the day. That's who got Rob Van Dam calling himself Mr. Monday Night because he used to appear on Raw when he was in ECW.
Mm.
well, yeah, and there's people right now that they could come back and utilize that have already WWE career ties that could come in from
Mm-hmm.
Impact and you know and have shit to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, because you know you got W. Morrissey, which is Big Cass, that come in and do shit. You got
Big Cass is over in
Impact. Yeah.
Impact.
Yeah, you've got they won't let Rich Swann work for WWE ever again. But you got
Who?
Rich Swann.
I don't know if I know him.
Yeah, black dude, Rich Swann. Yeah, I think he got fired for some crazy shit. And then there's friggin' what you call it, Chelsea Green and
Hey.
Zack Ryder.
Hey, if Rich Swann didn't take a shot in the face like Paige did, they should hire him back.
Wait, no, that's Ring of Honor.
Because she's back on the roster.
Supposedly, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, right? She's on their webpage.
Yeah.
She's on their webpage.
Jericho appearance? That'll never happen.
No, he ain't
That will
never
happen.
He ain't never coming back to the Fed again.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They did him dirty too much. Especially with the Kevin Owens angle. That was the last nail in the coffin for them. Basically.
Probably.
Well, in the Smoking Skull interview that he had with, which I was surprised they let happen, he basically mentioned that was basically like the last thing. Yeah, he did that, and then he went over to New Japan and did a bunch of shit over there, and then basically stayed over there until his contract ran out, and then came back, and then that's when he did AEW.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed the Royal Rumble to a small degree. It was nowhere near as much as I've enjoyed it past years.
Yeah.
Because it's one WWE pay-per-view. It's the one time I watch WWE probably most all of the year, if I'm being honest. Because I just like to see who returns and whatnot. But, this one, a lot of people said it was underwhelming, and I agree. It just didn't have, I guess, some of the flair that other years had. And that's the problem. It just, when you lose the ability to actually come up with ideas to entertain the audience, then you pretty much lost it at that point. So, I don't know. This Rumble was okay. It wasn't great. Hey, Mr. Greg Gregory. What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Hail, sir.
Yeah, so I don't know what you guys thought of it, but that's just my feelings on it.
We were shitting on it the whole time we were watching it.
but
I did. I felt bad.
But do you
feel bad.
Do you think it was just underwhelming, or that it downright sucked, or
it's the booking.
It's
for me. It's the. Go ahead, Draven. I'll let you go. Go ahead, man. I'll shut up.
Yeah, watching the women's match, like that Rumble, like half the time I felt like they weren't even doing anything. They're just like walking around half the time, half the match. At least with an example of a good women's Rumble would be the Casino Royale match that they had at what was it, All Out this past year. That was great. Like they're always doing something in the match. They're always beating the shit out of each other or whatever. There's no it feels like a lot of the stuff that the wrestlers are doing in the match is just fucking filler, and they're not fucking actually doing anything. Just trying to kill time until they need to do a spot, basically. And then that spot is usually pretty dog shit. And I feel like that's most of the Rumble, at least with the women's on this one.
Yeah.
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 And then, like you said, it is nice to see some of the older like wrestlers and legends come out. But when they like eliminate them like 2 seconds into the freaking match, some of them, it's like, what was the fucking point? Like, at least let them around for a bit and fucking hold their own. They're fucking legends, for God's sake.
Yeah, yeah, Vidge, I agree with you, bro. That I think you pretty much summed it up for everybody. You know, and you know, like I would have had
That
it.
too.
I would have had I would have had at least, you know, like the opportunity again, you know, and at least they kind of led to maybe like just the theory that I threw out there that you know, since Lita eliminated Mickie, if she's not on actual contract or if
Mm-hmm.
she's allowed to do it, that may be, you know, a legitimate match down the road, Mickie
Yeah.
James versus Lita for the Impact belt. That could happen. So, you know,
I'll put
Then
Mickie James over any day.
if that's the case and Lita wins, you could say a person from AEW has held an Impact title and a person from WWE. So.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of ways to use that. Use Mickey's appearance in WWE right now to bolster her in Impact. You know what I mean? Like you can tout her as the first Impact Women's Champion to appear in active Impact Champion to current holder to
Yeah,
appear in a
because that
Rumble.
is a big deal.
That's freaking huge. I mean, Impact. Think about it. Impact's been around since what? 04? 03 or 04. So I mean, you've got 18 years of history in
If
your
they use
company at this
Impact
point.
talent, though, they need to like bring Rosemary. Rosemary would have been awesome.
Dude, and like I said, there's a couple of my boys in Impact that I'm like, I would have loved to seen them show up tonight. And even if they came in and got jobbed out or something, it would have been fucking cool to see them, because there's some talented cats over there. And like I said, even if you come on to WWE television,
Oh, if they
do
would
like
have
a
sent
5-minute
somebody
job,
like Eddie Edwards or Moose or somebody.
yeah, let them come on and do a couple spots, give them some shine on your program.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been something. Impact's got some good shit going on though, because they got the whole like side angle now with the Bullet Club coming in and whatnot. So they've got a lot of good shit going on because they've had like Switchblade Jay White show up and stuff like that. So Impact's got
their
some,
thing with AEW is done, isn't it? They're not doing any more cross with them, as far as I'm aware.
I don't know.
I thought they had a contract with the AEW to like do that, and then I think that expired.
It's like up in the air, but I think they have like a handshake working agreement, something like that.
Gotcha.
Because I know eventually they want to do the Bullet Club versus the Elite thing.
Okay.
Everybody's angling towards that. Everybody, that's a wrestling fan who's anybody kind of wants to see that go down. So, so we may, who knows? But as of right now, I don't think they technically have a working agreement. So
I want Jeff in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I want him. And then Hardy Boys back in action against the Young Bucks. Because fuck the Young Bucks.
Well, I think right now, though, they're angling towards basically the reformed Undisputed Era versus the Bucks. So that's what is going to happen with that.
Gotcha. I'm a little behind on AEW right now. I
Yeah.
got a bunch of stuff DVR'd I need to watch through.
But I don't know. my closing thoughts are I agree with what Vigilante said. It was very underwhelming. It had a lot of potential, but they really dropped the ball.
Yeah,
So
I can agree with that.
all right. Well, it's going on almost 2:30 in the morning, folks. I'm glad that we got a chance to talk some Royal Rumble with you. We've been going an hour and 40 minutes. That's good enough for me. I will go around. I'll let these guys tell you where they can be found, and then we are going to get on out of here. So, all right, we'll start with my boy E-Tep, the People's Champ.
Hi. You can find me Monday nights. Place to Be Reviews, Monday night going in Raw, 8:35 Eastern. Wednesday night, Place to Be Reviews live, 9 p.m. Eastern. Usually single release videos Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday, I spend the day working on the Batwoman review, which go check out episode 10. That's available now. We put that out at 7:15 p.m. on Friday. I had to push the live stream back. The 1K celebration. You can check the playback of that. We watched John Carpenter's Vampires.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm working hard. I'm working on stuff for channel members. We're getting ready. We're gonna do some channel memberships. It's gonna be very cheap, and I'm gonna have a lot of cool stuff. I'm gonna give away. We're working on all that too. So yeah, stay tuned. If you're not subscribed, come on over, subscribe. It's free. Check out some videos, live streams. Drew, Draven, it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys.
Yeah. It was nice, actually, finally just kicking back and talking some wrestling with you, dude. Because I never got, of all the things, I never got to talk wrestling with you.
Yeah.
No.
So it was nice. So, all right, AD, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me here and on Twitch. I just picked up the new Pokemon game, so I might try that tomorrow sometime over there on Twitch. So, yeah, just stay tuned.
All right. And, of course, guys, you could find me here on this channel, and I will most likely, as I said, I'm not going to be doing anything Tuesday, but I have Pegasus Actual Thursday. And then on the 8th, we're going to be debuting the new United Resistance program. I can't wait to do that. And, me and Brightest Day are working hard putting stuff together for that. So it's going to be fun. All right. So take care, folks. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And have a good night.
They think it's right to murder. They want to murder. Look at all the people, and they get a kick out of it. A sexual kick out of it. The whole thing, I think it's sick.